everyone! Zohran Mamdani's election victory has sent shockwaves through New York City's political scene and across the nation. After running a campaign focused on housing justice, affordable living, and better public transit, Mamdani's win signals a clear demand for change. But now that the campaign is over, the real challenge begins. How will he turn his bold promises into real policies? Let's break down what's next for New York and for Zohran Mamdani himself. Winning an election is one thing. Governing a city as complex as New York is another. Mamdani's biggest task now is turning his campaign movement into a stable governing coalition. He'll need to work closely with city council members, many of whom are moderate Democrats, to pass his major proposals. That means negotiation, compromise, and alliance building. At the same time, he'll need to manage relationships with labor unions, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations, all of which play major roles in how the city actually functions. And beyond the city, he'll need cooperation from both the state government in Albany and federal agencies in Washington to bring his biggest ideas to life. So, what's at the top of his list? First, housing. Expect Mamdani to push for stronger rent protections and possibly even rent freezes to help keep families in their homes. But the real estate industry is preparing to fight back, and lawsuits are almost certain. Next, public transit. One of Mamdani's most talked about proposals is to make city buses free for everyone. That idea will require serious funding and coordination with the MTA, so the more realistic first step might be a pilot program in a few neighborhoods to test how it works. Then there's food and childcare. Mamdani has floated the idea of city-run grocery stores in neighborhoods with limited access to fresh food and an expansion of universal childcare programs. Both are ambitious moves that could take years to fully roll out, but smaller pilot projects could help prove they're possible. Of course, not everyone is on board. Business groups and conservative critics are already warning that Mamdani's policies could strain the city's finances. Some state officials might even try to limit the city's authority if they believe his reforms go too far. Legal challenges are likely, especially around housing and rent control. And on a national level, there's already talk of political pushback, including threats to federal funding if his policies are seen as too radical. This means Mamdani will have to balance bold action with caution, pushing for progress while keeping the city legally and financially stable. Inside the Democratic Party, Mamdani's win has sparked a bigger debate. Progressives see it as proof that their message can win in big cities. Moderates, on the other hand, worry it could backfire. If Mamdani succeeds, if he manages to make housing cheaper, improve transit, and expand access to childcare, it could reshape what Democrats across the country stand for. But if he stumbles, critics will use New York as evidence that progressive ideas just don't work in practice. Either way, the outcome of his administration will have national implications. For Mamdani, success won't come from sweeping overnight changes. It'll come from visible progress that people can feel. A working pilot program for free buses, stronger rent protections, and more transparency in city spending could go a long way toward proving that his vision is practical. The risks are moving too fast, losing moderate support, or facing financial limits before results appear. In short, Zohran Mamdani's win was the easy part. The next few months will test whether he can actually deliver on his promises and turn progressive ideas into real change. If he succeeds, New York could become a model for urban reform. If not, it might become a cautionary tale for future progressive leaders. So, what's your take? Do you think Zohran Mamdani can deliver real change, or will politics and pushback slow him down? Drop a comment below.